Hi, welcome to a new episode of The Young and the Restless. We open at the coffee house, and Daniel is there lecturing Summer on the right way to clear their mother's name. And he thinks that they may make things worse if they move forward with Summer's plan. And Summer wants to find the paramedic, give him money, and make him say that Phyllis was attacked by Stark and she killed him in self defense. Over at Newman, Victor orders Michael to get Nick out of jail, and they then discuss Cameron, him, and Nikki. Nikki decides to distract Victor with work, and they discuss Nate's performance at work because Victor is curious, and Nikki says that he's performing. Victor, we learn that Victor has taken Nate under his wing. Over at the athletic club, Vick and Nate discuss work at the bar and their sex life and how it helps them to be productive. And then Vick gets a text about Nick's arrest and says she has to go. Then we see Faith at Sharon's freaks out that Nick is arrested. Then Chance comes by and Faith opens the door and yells, "How could you arrest my father?" At the jailhouse, we see Nick explains to Michael that it's a setup by Cameron. And Cameron is trying to get him out of the way so that he can get to Sharon. And Michael thinks that it's the best place that Nick should be based on how angry he is. Then we go back to the coffee house and Daniel tells Summer that they are not paying someone to lie. And Summer tells Daniel that she doesn't need his help if he has such an attitude. Then we go back to the jailhouse and Michael begs Nick to calm down and says that he knows how much of a threat Cameron is to Sharon because he was there the last time Cameron was around, and tells him that Chance is over at Sharon, so there's no need to worry. Then we go over to Sharon and Chance explain what happened to Faith, but Faith has to leave to go back to school and Sharon wants her out of town. Then Sharon and Chance talk and she wants him to go look for Cameron on somewhere on the property or wherever he is to find him. But Chance says he won't leave her alone and he promises Nick that he'll protect her. Then we see Sharon is sad that she had to send Faith away. And they then hear something at the door, but it's Michael. Back at the coffee house, Summer gets a call from Phyllis while she's on. It's a video call, a FaceTime. Summer tells her that she's lucky that she got her out of there when she did because Cal brought Chance right to the room. And Phyllis decides not to tell her where she is, says it's for the best. Phyllis warns Summer not to go forward with her plan with the EMT and yells at her and tells her no. Phyllis says that she will take care of things from now moving forward. Summer needs to back off. Then we see Vick and Nate arrive at Newman, and Victor and Nikki gives them the update on Nick. Vick, however, doesn't like that Nick took matters into his own hands and says that it won't reflect well on the company. Nikki says that it's Cameron who's at provoking Nick and tries to defend Nick. Victor also tries to defend Nick, but Vick doesn't want the negative publicity on Newman and says that she will ask Nick to take a leave of absence. Nikki and Victor is shocked by this. Nate says that this is a family matters and leaves her privacy. Then Victor calls out Victoria's hypocrisy and says that Nick was the one who protected her from Ashton. How could she do that to him? Victor tells her that it isn't her call to make. They all, however, agree to take a special time off, for Nick to take a special time off, not a formal leave of absence. Then we see Summer tries to convince Phyllis that she needs help, but Phyllis tells Summer to drop it and tell her to go home to cancel her marriage and forget about her. Over at Sharon, Michael and Sharon discuss their past with Cameron, and Michael was the one who helped her to get rid of Cameron the last time. Sharon doesn't want to lose her mind this time around, and think that Cameron is up to something. Then we see Phyllis calls Danielle, and she tells him to protect Summer and not allow her to go forward with her plan. Back at Sharon, Sharon is ready to face whatever Cameron has planning for her, and she's happy that Faith is gone and not going to be a part of the torture. Michael suggests a restraining order, and he leaves to go get it done. Then Michael gets a call, and it's Summer asking him to meet up. And then he informs Summer that he's on his way to bail out Nick. Summer is shocked when she hears that Nick is arrested. Then we see Phyllis tells Danielle to do whatever it takes to stop Summer. And she tells Danielle that neither her or Summer will know where she is. Then we see Michael arrives at the coffee house to meet up with Summer and gives Summer the full details of Nick's arrest. And she freaks out that both her parents are in trouble with the law. Then Summer tells Michael her plan, and Michael tells her that her plan is pure crime. And he lists the amount of laws she will be breaking, and he says hell no, and tells her to forget about it. But Summer continues to freak out about her mom. Michael thinks the EMT can help, however, but in other ways. And he tells Summer to swear not to make any moves without him or go forward on her own. Michael says that he may have to bring in some big guns because he needs resources to pull it off. Back at Newman, Nikki decides to take on Nick's workload, and then they discuss Nate. Nikki wonders if her relationship is influencing Victoria's decision and asks if she would consider Nate for the position if Nick resigns. Then at Society, we see Nate tells Audra about Nick, and they see a way for his opening to move up the ladder, and Nate wants to take advantage of it. But while they're there cheersing to Nick being gone, we see Victor sees them cheersing, and Victor looks very suspicious. Then we see Danielle runs over to the Abbott house to Kyle and asks him for help with Summer, asks him to forgive her a little bit and talk to her. Then we see Victor meets up with Summer and Michael there at Society, and they ask him for help. Victor calls Phyllis a criminal. Let's pause right there. Victor, of all the crimes you and your family have committed in Genoa City, so many people have committed crimes. You're calling Phyllis a criminal? Victor, you have broken so many laws. Adam, Nick, all of y'all, you're a big hypocrite. Then Victor calls out Michael for leaving the job to go defend Diane. And he further calls out Phyllis for causing his granddaughter hurt and pain and stress. Then back at Sharon, Chance tells Sharon the stories of working on the job, and she laughs, and Sharon picks up the phone and wonders why Faith hasn't texted her as yet. Back at Newman, Vick tells Nikki that she is not trying to push Nick out, but she loves working with him. And then she admits that she would consider Nate for the post. Then we see Kyle tells Danielle that he doesn't want to talk about it, and Danielle continues to beg Kyle. Kyle thinks that his help wouldn't work because Summer doesn't listen to him anyway. Then we see Summer begs Victor for help. So does Michael. And Summer cries and begs. And Victor doesn't want to bring Phyllis back to town. Thinks she's better off elsewhere. Victor is a hypocrite. Then we go back to Sharon. And Chance. Sharon starts freaking out that they can't find Nate. Chance then calls around and he calls the airport to check if Faith was on the flight. And he finds out that the flight took off and Faith wasn't on it. Sharon breaks down and cries. Thanks for watching. Bye.